and getting it out. Got one. Look at that, right off the bat. Oh, they love this pattern. Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life Fly Fishing. And today we're going to tie a nymph that we're going to use for smallmouth. Now, you could use this for trout too, no kidding. But, I mean, I've got in mind smallmouth. We could swing it, we could dead drift it, and it's called Clouser's Swimming Nymph. It comes from this book by Bob Clouser. We think of Clouser being associated with the Clouser minnow, but he's tied lots of different patterns. So let's take a look at this one and the materials we're going to use. Now, the hook is a Mustad R74 size 8. You can see I've got a 1/8 inch brass bead on there. My thread is a Uni-Thread Fire Orange in 6/0. We're going to put some lead on the shank. We're going to put this rusty brown dubbing for the body. Our tail is going to be brown marabou, or rusty brown marabou, something in that range. We're going to use some bronze flash. Our hackle is going to be brown hen, speckled, preferably. And the wing case is going to be Peacock Curl. So, let's get started. First up is the lead. Let's see what we've got here, how much we have. Fold that tag over. Yeah, we could do a bit more. Let's see if we can use all this up. What I like to do when I'm using lead and a bead, I just put a little bit of CA glue in here and shove the lead into the bead. And that kind of holds everything in place. Now we'll come in with the thread and make wide wraps around the lead. And what that does is it covers the lead up and doesn't allow the thread to bite into the lead, which we don't want. Okay, bring your thread to the back. Now, this particular fly uses a lot of marabou. So we're going to come in here with our first clump of marabou. And it's going to be roughly the hook shank length. Pinch up, lock it in place. Trim off. I like to leave a little bit of a butt there because you'll see that will get covered up. Next, our bronze flash. Now, if I was doing this for trout, I'd probably be a little bit more subdued with the bronze, but it's for smallmouth, so I'm going heavy here. Now we put on our next clump of marabou. We want it the same length as the first clump. Pinch loop to keep it on top. There we go. Now I'm going to wind this back. Wind forward. I'm going to try and squish this down a bit. Now, one of the things I could have done to have been a bit smarter, I would have brought that marabou butt section up to the end of the lead. I didn't do that, so I'm going to have to work around that a little bit. So we're going to start off by putting on our dubbing. And this is pretty thick, bulky dubbing, though this first pass, because we've got that lump there, I won't get it too thick. There we go. Now we can really thicken it up because we've got that gap to fill in. And this is not like doing a dry fly for a, elegant dry fly for a trout. You can really, pound this on. Don't worry about it too much. You know, sometimes it's nice to do patterns where you don't have to be really super fussy and elegant. You know, just slap the materials on and go fishing. There's something to be said for that. You want everything to be roughly the same diameter, so you can see I'm piling on the dubbing here to build it up. As I said, if I'd been smart, I would have run the marabou butt sections up to the end of the lead. Okay, we're almost finished with this bit here. Okay, now we need our Peacock Curl. And we're going to take a good clump of this. I mean, we're going to be generous. And we don't have to be fussy. We can just grab a clump of these. There we go. There's no elegance here. I've just got this batch here. I'll tie these on. And to help build up some bulk and save myself some time, I'm going to wind all that in and then cut this off. Not often you hear somebody say, I want to build up bulk. That's what we're doing here. Next, we're going to come in with our hen feather, and we're going to cut a tying in point out of the tip. So what I do is I grab the tip, stroke it back, expose that little triangle, and then I'll just cut a bit of that off. We don't need it all. And the curve, we want the curve of the feather facing away from us. So work that back. And just keep all that together. Bring your thread to the back, and now we start dubbing again. Okay, leave yourself a little bit of room at the front there. Don't put your dubbing right to the end. A little half hitch. Now get your hackle pliers. Get hold of your hen. Very carefully fold these back. And then start to wind on. And palmer forward. We're going to be palmering this on. This isn't tied like a conventional collar. There we go. Just push that back. Now tie off your hand hackle quill. If you've got any barbs pointing forward, take this opportunity to lash everything down. Now we grab all of our peacock curl and, separate the hen so it, whoops, I'm losing it all here. Separate the hen so the hen gets pushed down on either side. You get some trapped underneath and move them out of the way. There we go. Keep a grip on that. Get a couple of turns in. Now come in here. Cut that off. Now just clean this up. And part of the fire orange is to get that nice bright spot in the front of the fly. Finally, we whip finish. Now we just need some head cement, and that fly is ready to use. I mean, that is a very nice attractor pattern for a swimming nymph. It's going to move water, it's going to flutter, it's going to look good. Swing it, dead drift it, it doesn't matter. It's got some sparkle to it. It's got a hot spot, got that nice wing case made out of peacock curl. Great stuff. Can't beat it. So, there it is, the Clouser swimming nymph. Now, keep in mind, you can do this in different colors. It's basically a concept of the way this thing is put together. But if you want to do it with predominantly lighter colors in the tans, in the creams, or you want to go into the blacks, your choice. I mean, this thing I think would look dynamite in really dark colors. Dark brown, black, that sort of thing. Probably it would really be effective for smallmouth. That what they like. You could even go silly with it and do it in chartreuse. I mean, that would work as well. Chartreuse and black. I mean, what steelhead? Steelhead like them too. What smallmouth doesn't like chartreuse and black? So there you go. And by the way, you know what? I don't think Bob Clouser mentioned this, but this would probably be a great steelhead nymph to run under an indicator. I'd be tempted to use that. Tie it on a jig hook instead of a streamer hook like I've done here. Run it underneath. Oh, I think that thing would whack steelhead like you wouldn't believe. So there we go. The Clouser swimming nymph. Cheers. Got him. Get him out here. Oh.